You got Smith Vilbert, who is the most experienced option. At this point, I thought coming into the fall, there might be a little bit of a battle for that other edge rusher spot. There is not. Smith Vilbert is going to be your guy. And, I think when you turn on the film of him and you watch him, there are a lot more things to like about what he does. But you look back, this past year at the college level, he played the most snaps that he's played, 339. And in those snaps, he collected 12 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack and a half. Those are solid numbers, but the fact that this is a guy that's never played more than 339 snaps in a season, that means that while he is a guy that might look like a veteran with the, senior being a part of the senior class, he's still a guy that is pretty raw and still, has some talent that's there. The question is Carolina going to be the ones that are able to unlock that this season?
Yeah, this definitely feels like a Belichick guy that he saw something that maybe where no one else has seen in him, and in the scheme and what they're going to ask him to do can unlock more production than what we've seen so far from him in his college career. It'd be hard to be disappointed if he kind of replicated that production, but I think Carolina needs more if they're wanting to take the step forward they need to take as a defense. I think what we expect them to take as a defense with just what comes with the nature of being coached by Bill Belichick and his son. So be interested to really see, to me, this feels like a guy that will not be at his best against TCU. I think this will be a guy that, when we get back in the Clemson game, we'll see, has he taken a step forward? And then when you get down to the back end of the season, is he really playing at a high level? And if Carolina can do that with this new look, this revamped defensive line, then maybe they got a chance to maybe be the defensive line unit that they haven't been down the stretch the past couple seasons. Because I think that's going to be the big thing with this trench group. Same thing we talked about with the offensive side of the football. They didn't have an issue getting off to good starts. You go back 2 years ago against South Carolina, what they did in that season opener, what they did the first 3 games last year, where it felt like maybe under Jeff Collins, they were really primed and ready to be a consistent unit, and then it all tapered off. Belichick's aware of that. And so you got to get more consistent production throughout the season. I think this will be a guy that, assuming that this coaching staff has not lost its fastball, this will be a guy that I think will get better the more snaps he plays and the longer the season moves along.
Yeah, in defense of Vilbert, I think the one thing that you have to give to him is that when you look at the guys that he was around at Penn State, who are you playing him over? You're not playing him over anybody. What are you going to play him over Abdul Carter? Abdul Carter's one of the most talented edge rushers. And I know people are going to say, well, you're saying this because you're a Giants fan. But just look at what he did in his first preseason game. Like, that dude's already validating the fact that he was selected number 3 overall and that he could be one of the better edge rushers in all of football for years to come. That's really difficult for Smith Vilbert to have to overshadow him and get on the field. But the thing I will say is, when you go back and you watch his highlight tape last year, I thought the moments when he was on the field, he made the most of them. And there's a lot to like about what he does. I think his release off the line of scrimmage is really, really good. I think that's going to give some tackles some issues. I think he does a really good job of getting low and getting around guys. I really think there is a lot to his game that you will really like. My thing is how much production is he going to be able to get out of it? Is he going to be a guy that is going to be able to get, maybe even just similar production to what we saw last year from Price Yates, maybe a little bit more than that? If he could give you that, then I think you're feeling pretty good. If he could double the numbers that he had at Penn State, 3 sacks, probably a little bit more than that you'd like. But I do think that there is a pathway for him to be successful this year. The thing is that, for him, it's just a matter of, was he a guy that was being held back because there were so many great talents at Penn State, or Was he a guy that really wasn't nearly as talented as those guys, and really it doesn't have that production capability for him at the college level? We'll have to wait and see on that.